Oh no. Uh-oh. I did an uh-oh. Shoot. No, come on. Are we still here? Frick. Crap. All right, I messed up. I made a boo-boo. That's not good. My bad, guys. I made a mistake. I made a mistake. I made a mistake. I'm sorry. I hope we don't. I had so many viewers. I was like hitting like a viewership record for me and I messed it up. I had a viewership record for me and then I just threw it all away with my stupid mistake hitting the wrong button. That's really frustrating. That's really frustrating. Oh, crap. I had a viewership record and I just threw that viewership record away, hitting the wrong button. Darn it. That's so upsetting. Oh well. Oh well. You guys hear me okay? Am I really still... Okay, you guys can hear me, right? Check, yes? Okay, we're good. All right. It is so hot in here. I was sweating so bad. I was sweating so much. I gotta turn on my AC. I'll be right back. I'll be right back, boys. Tell Legate. Somebody ping... hold on, I'll ping him. Let me ping him in the Discord server. I'm sweating. so hot. Is the... Hold on. Oh, dang it. Oh, you guys can so hear that fan. Darn. That's upsetting. Okay, I'm going to turn the fan off. Wow, that is really loud. I'm turning that down just a touch. Hi, Levi. What's the temperature outside? Maybe I can just open my window. It's 79 degrees outside right now. There's no way. Please tell me that hasn't updated. It's 73 degrees outside. Does it feel... Oh, dang it. I just unplugged my headphones. It doesn't... It feels a little cooler out there than in here. It feels a little bit cooler. So we're going to go with that. It feels a little bit cooler. Is Levi a cat or a dog? Levi is a dog. I am deadly allergic to cats. You guys couldn't hear the fan? Wait, if I turn the fan on, can you guys hear it? Please tell me you can't. Hold on. Can you guys hear that? Can you guys hear that? I feel like it can be heard. I'm looking at my audio levels. Barely heard it. I'm looking at my audio levels. It looks like it's coming through. I turned it on. It's not affecting clarity? Yeah, but if it's got like a bunch of room tone, I don't want to have to like edit it out of the videos later, you know what I mean? I guess if it's constant, gives it kind of old radio noise. That's terrible. We're not doing old radio noise. Hold on. Constant gives it kind of old radio noise. That's terrible. We're not doing old radio noise. Yeah, you can hear it. Uh-oh, freeze. Oh, shoot. Oh no, the chat box is frozen. Hold on. Shoot. This is the chat box. The on-screen chat box is frozen. Refresh cache. Very low and understated hum. All right, I'll leave it on. I should be able to get it out later if it's bad. Sounds good and pleasant. Okay. I'm out of liquid now. I don't have anything to drink. Okay. We only got through half of what I had prepped for that video, by the way. Oh, goodness. We literally only got through half of what I had prepped for that video. I had so much more ready to go. And then I looked down and it was like 45 minutes. I was like, cool, we gotta cut that. Like, we gotta wrap this up. I was hoping Leggate would come back and argue with me, but I guess not. Drink in 15 minutes, so I'll drink for you. Yeah. I don't want to get alcohol because I'm going to be talking about serious topics, so. But I think there's another Coke in the other room. Let me go see if there's another Coke. People left some sodas here last night at poker. Coca-Cola. No alcohol. Imaginary jazz music. Oh, I didn't push play. I didn't push play. Whoops. All right. Here we go. We're gonna do the. Can't believe I'm a Diet Coke guy. Somebody just left this here. I much prefer Diet. Diet Coke is better than regular Coke. Okay. We are going to talk about the death penalty. So here we go. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Today, we're going to be talking about the death penalty. I'll be reacting to a video from Pints with Aquinas. The link to that video is in the description. I'll actually be citing two videos from Pints, just because they are related. And I did get permission from Matt to watch these on stream, so we're good to go there. But please do go support Matt. Go like the video so we're not taking views from him, because we don't want to be doing that. So, we'll be talking about the death penalty. We'll be talking about it in light of Tyler Robinson, Charlie Kirk's assassin, and if he should get the death penalty, and what the considerations around that are. So, here we go. Okay. We're going to skip parts of this too, guys, just so.
So last week, Charlie Kirk was tragically and evilly killed. I was hosting a podcast here with John Christ, and we came out and heard about it. It felt so unreal. And so I want to know what you think about that. What does the Catholic Church teach about that? You know, throughout our history, there's a solo speech the other day in honor of Charlie was absolutely beautiful, I thought. But anyway, they have the alleged killer, Tyler Robinson, and there's a lot of talk about whether he should receive the death penalty or not. And so I want to know what you think about that. What does the Catholic Church teach about that? You know, throughout our history, and even in Scripture, the death penalty has been legitimate, it seems. Thomas Aquinas obviously agreed with it. It seems like there's been something of a shift from John Paul II to Francis. But yeah, what's your opinion on that?
Well, I want to first invite all of us to pray for Charlie Kirk and to pray for Tyler Robinson. I think keeping human beings in front of us is really important in having any of these kinds of discussions. It's important to be able to discuss principles and understand things on their own terms with logic and doctrine, but all of this is applied to human beings, and to keep the infinite value of the human being in front of us, I think, is really critical. So, and you justify the goodness of Charlie Kirk in some sense, whether you think that or not, or whether you agree with him or not. It's wrong to shoot anyone in cold blood in that way, and so there's something heinous that took place. That's unquestionable. And that kind of heinous action sends us into one of two directions. As we respond to evil spontaneously, our passions are moved either in fear to get away from the threat or in anger to overcome the threat. Anger has in it also a sense of hope, because there's a hope of vindication, overcoming the threat and arriving back at a place of the good, a peace and order. And so the anger that understandably wells up in our hearts is meant to overcome evil and bring us back to a good place. And
if you didn't see the video that I posted yesterday on the friend-enemy distinction, this is actually kind of related to that. Right? The idea here is that Tyler Robinson is our enemy insofar as he, by his act, has privated himself of our friendship. And so the goal is to bring him back to a state of friendship, and punishment for any crime, any violation of friendship, of closeness, is going to be necessarily ordered toward bringing that individual back to friendship with us. So there we go. That's kind of the idea here. That's what Father Boniface is getting at.
And furthermore, that anger goes along with the teaching of God in the Ten Commandments and Mount Sinai. An eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. The lex talionis is a recognition that getting even is a matter of justice. And so that desire to get even wells up in our hearts, and it's understandable that we want a life for a life. And so that urge that can be very strong in us, demanding that this injustice be overcome and bringing us to a place of justice, again, is very understandable. And so I want to reverence that in my own heart and in the heart of anybody else who's watching. That desire to get even, in this case or in other cases, is a natural human response to what is wrong. We're made to be in a place of goodness and peace and order, and when it's wrong, it evokes passions within us. So there are a number of challenges with that, which is what actually is the debt that's owed. So our anger gives us some sense of, this person owes me. When I'm personally hurt by somebody who betrays me or who cheats me or
saying it's good.
Well, it's ultimately a desire for justice. That desire is a good desire. I don't take matters into my own hands unless it's something that I can confront an argument or.
What do you mean that desire is a good desire? Often it feels like we're told that it isn't. You want to get even, that's bad. You shouldn't want that. You're saying it's good.
Well, it's ultimately a desire for justice. So I'm attracted to the overcoming evil and achieving the good. So even as I said, there's a quality of hope that's in it. If I didn't have that, I would be moved in fear to at least get away from the threat and desire that safety away from threat. So, if there's a bear that comes into the room, fear is a good response to run away from the bear and get to a place of safety. But somebody with enough strength who has a sense they can overcome that might attack the bear. That's an expression of anger, overcoming that evil threat. Or recover the debt. I don't know all of the things that went into it, first of all. All others who are transformed into love in heaven for eternity. And so simply to wipe that away as if it didn't exist would be not in the interest of the abuse is unrecognizable in that.
Here we go. We're going to pick up right here, a little further back.
That debt will be collected. Too quickly past the feelings, the desire for justice and getting even, to move to a place of forgiveness, and we end up bypassing and thus minimizing, when actually counting the cost is an important part of knowing what we're doing in forgiveness. Forgiveness is not just saying there is no debt. It's saying I'll hand the debt over to a greater debt collector. And that's really important for me to be able to do because, for reasons I'll return to, I'm not really in a good position to collect the debt in an absolutely just way. But secondly, recognizing that there is a debt and that debt will be collected. That's actually good for the one who incurred the debt as well, because that's necessary for salvation. If you think of somebody who is an abuser, how could that person?
So there is a debt, and that debt will be collected. And so this is true, right? Like the idea here is, should Tyler Robinson received the death penalty, right? So the question here, and what Father Boniface is saying, what he's saying is that the debt Tyler Robinson owes will be collected eventually. Now, and he's saying that it's good to desire justice. So, and I don't think that this is not what Father Boniface will disagree with this later in the video, but this is an argument for the desire for Tyler Robinson to be put to death by the state, which in this case would be a greater debt collector using the sword, how Paul in Romans says they can, is not saying that we're not forgiving him, right? Desiring Tyler Robinson to be put to death is not mean that we have not forgiven him, okay?
And ever be in heaven together with the one they abused. Only if anything in them related to that abuse is purified, burned away, totally removed, so that to the abused, the abuse is unrecognizable in that person. That's a real transformation that has to.
So this is another thing, right? We were just talking about this. The enmity is destroyed. The enmity between the enmity between the two is destroyed, and friendship is restored. Right? The enmity is destroyed, not the person. The person is brought into friendship by fulfilling their potential, the potential they have to be a friend. But the enmity, which is an absence of friendship, is destroyed. The absence of friendship is destroyed, which is another way to say that the friendship is fulfilled. The debt is paid.
To take place. And that's not going to happen if the debt were just simply wiped away somehow or forgotten or overlooked. We pay our debts, and it's part of our transformation process. We go through the hard work of facing what we've done, the depth of sorrow and contrition, the recognition that we are beggars also in need of mercy from God. Those are necessary aspects of our own conversion and transformation, which is necessary for our ability to be with God and all others who are transformed into love in heaven for eternity. And so simply to wipe that away as if it didn't exist would be not in the...
Let's just interject real quickly.
So he's going to talk about that some more, but we're going to skip here to Matt, because Matt has a question that I think is important and we can answer.
I thought a good question to ask somebody who wants this individual to receive the death penalty is to begin by asking them, presuming they're Christian, do you love this person and want them to be with the Lord? And I think a lot of people, if they were honest, would be like, hell no. He's an animal. He deserves to be put down. And I understand that reaction. I kind of feel it in part of me. Yeah. I'm not saying I'm happy about that, but
Sure.
I do. But I suppose if you can bring yourself to say, okay, yeah,
So yes, the answer to this for me is yes. I love Tyler Robinson in his nature, insofar as his nature, right? Like the quote from Aquinas on friendship is, we should love our enemies as to nature, but not as to fault. So I love his human nature, his existence. The fact that he is an enemy the fact that he is an enemy should displease us, and we should destroy this in him. I would like to destroy the enmity in him, or the enmity does not exist. I would like to destroy within him the things which make him an enemy in act, though he is not an enemy in nature.
yes, I want his good, and I want him to be with the Lord.
I want him to good, and I want him to be with the Lord. Right? And I forget who said this, but I saw this. If somebody were to say to me, oh, he converted, he's accepted Jesus Christ as his Lord and Savior, he's gone to confession, I would say, praise the Lord, get the rope. Praise the Lord, get the rope. The debt must be paid, right? And we'll get into later in this, we'll get into it more. But in this case, I don't think that prison can pay that debt. And I don't think that the death penalty is an inappropriate punishment, and it is the punishment which would do the most good for innocent people. Therefore, I think it is the proper punishment, right? So I'm not saying that if we don't put him to death, the debt goes unpaid, right? That Christ will not collect the debt. Christ will collect the debt whether or not it goes paid temporally. Okay, but there are other factors, right? The death penalty in this case is not inappropriate, and the other factors will make it will make it do better for the innocent.
If you could begin by saying that, then that doesn't mean the death penalty is off the table, but it does maybe direct the conversation in the way it should go.
I think absolutely. It's ultimately the dimension of forgiveness that we need to move into to be able to will the good of the other, to have that attitude of benevolence towards one who has even hurt me personally. Again, not because they didn't hurt me, but because I trust that God will reconcile that, and I'm going to move to a place of even bearing the pain in a form of redemptive suffering, and then willing their good, even to the point of eternal salvation. Absolutely.
You're probably going to get to this, but surely the state can't act like that. If the state took the approach you're taking, we'll just give it.
So Matt's going to make a great point here, actually, right? The state cannot act like this. The state cannot say, we're just going to leave it to Jesus. The state can't say that, because the state has to be the one which restores order and dishes out the punishments.
Over God, then we would live in absolute anarchy. So surely the state has a responsibility to impose either the death penalty or prison sentences. Or
the state has the authority and the responsibility to punish. And if I can read a little bit from the Catechism 2266, it says, the efforts of the state to curb the spread of behavior harmful to people's rights and to the basic rules of civil society correspond to the requirement of safeguarding the common good. Legitimate public authority has the right and the duty to inflict punishment, proportionate to the gravity of the offense. Mm-hmm. Punishment has the primary aim of redressing the disorder introduced by the offense. When it is willingly accepted by the guilty party, it assumes...
Hold on, guys. Hold on. All right, we're good. I don't know what he was barking at. Yeah, he's talking fast for all of us. I got it on double speed. back it up just a touch.
Proportionate to the gravity of the offense. Punishment as the primary aim of redressing the disorder introduced by the offense. When it is willingly accepted by the guilty party, it assumes the value of expiation. Punishment then, in addition to defending public order and protecting people's safety, has a medicinal purpose. As far as possible, it must contribute to the correction of the guilty party. And that's the right of the state. So again, I don't have the right to inflict that kind of harm on another person, but that's the right of the state to reestablish civil order, to protect against future offense, and even to bring about the transformation of the offender through the punishment as a form of expiation, and then having that medicinal purpose. So what I was saying about the necessity of purification if we've done evil things is part of the state's responsibility and what God has empowered them to do.
Okay.
Measuring out the punishment proportionate to the gravity of the offense, that becomes a little bit of the challenge. And then what will be most effective to bring about the transformation? What will be most medicinal? And
Medicinal to who? To the culprit, but also to society? Or just the culprit?
well, this speaks of medicinal in terms of contributing to the correction of the guilty party.
Yeah.
But certainly the restoration of order in society would be a part of that as well. So, yeah, that an action is taken that reestablishes order, that prevents future offense. And so all of those different dimensions that are there that the state is empowered to carry out. The state is, of course, composed of human beings who also can be caught up in misjudgments and unjust application of the authority. So I think with a healthy dose of self-doubt, and of course our Constitution is established to protect the rights of the guilty in a way that...
Yeah, okay. So we talk about this, right? So there are certain crimes, right? Like the punishment must be proportional, okay? Now, and it has to be ordered towards the good of the punished. That's justice, right? Okay.
Free. Or if they don't get scot-free, they don't get the sort of time in prison.
There are many positive things that could come forth from this.
Yeah. Yeah. I think there's this general feeling, you know.
Okay, so I want to talk about this. This is a part I disagree with this, and I did tell Matt that I was going to disagree with him a little bit, so we're going to talk about this.
States, maybe I'm wrong, that criminals get off scot-free. Or if they don't get scot-free, they don't get the sort of time in prison that they should get. And we've all heard stories, you know, that maybe this guy committed rape and he was let off because, you know, he was kind of young and they didn't want to ruin his life. Or this man committed murder and he went to prison for maybe 10 years. And I don't have any of those examples to give to you. Maybe I'm wrong there. But I think there is a sense that people have that criminals don't get punished in America. I suspect that one of the reasons many people would like to see the death penalty take place is precisely because of that. Like, if we believed that criminals were punished sufficiently in this country, maybe there wouldn't be this reaction to give him the death penalty. They would say, great, he will serve the rest of his life in prison, and so he should. But I think when people think he's just going to get off, you know, or if he doesn't get off, he won't serve enough time in prison, they think, okay, for the sake of justice, he should be executed. But not just that. For the sake of teaching, the rest of the country should be taught that this is completely never going to be tolerated. It should also be done. To use perhaps a strange analogy, it's why, you know, bishops shouldn't permit bad politicians who promote evil things like abortion to receive the whole Eucharist. When they do permit them to receive the whole Eucharist, they're not just doing evil, it seems to me, to the individual soul by allowing them to partake of the body and blood of Christ, but they're also saying to the rest of the church in a roundabout way, it's not a big deal. So I think a lot of people would like to see this execution occur because it would send a message to us who are in a very precarious state right now in the United States of America, where people are really afraid that the bottom has fallen out and we could see absolute mayhem in the streets. This thing won't be tolerated, and this is one way to show that. What do you think about that?
I can't make an evaluation of whether adequate sentences are imposed for crimes, but I can say that Tyler Robinson doesn't deserve the failures. His life is not a remedy, or his execution wouldn't be a remedy for previous failures against other people. If that's the case, then those things should be corrected in their own context, not using someone else to somehow correct that. So that would be unjust against Tyler Robinson to carry out that kind of attitude.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. So do you have an answer to this? Should Tyler...
Okay, so here's the problem. Here's the thing. The question here, the desire here for Tyler Robinson to be given the death penalty is not because other people are unpunished or for the crimes of other people. It's because what Tyler Robinson did is not murder. Okay? Hold on, time out. Let me rephrase that. What he did is not just murder. It's not only murder. Okay? What he did is something much worse. He did something which has the potential, which had and still does have the potential to cause the death of millions of people in a civil war breaking out. And the crime is not just the assassination of Charlie Kirk, and Charlie deserves justice, and Charlie's widow deserved justice, and Charlie's son and daughter deserve justice, and Charlie's parents deserve justice, and you know, all his patriots deserve justice. We all deserve justice. But that's not the crime. The primary crime, the worst crime is the risk that Tyler Robinson put the whole country at for absolute mayhem, blood flowing in the streets mayhem. And the left and leftists believe that this kind of crime is appropriate and is a good thing that we can do. Like, they can do. They celebrate it. Unless they are punished to a degree, unless they are punished, punished at the level of, you do this, you will die, they aren't gonna stop. Okay? And that's not to say he needs to be made an example of. That's to say that the actual policy, I'm not saying we make an example out of him. I'm saying that the policy of the United States needs to be that if you commit political violence against your political enemies for the purpose of demoralizing and killing and weakening your political enemy, that the only thing we do is kill you. The punishment, I'm not saying we make Tyler Robinson an example. I'm saying we make the policy of the United States, political assassinations are instant death penalty. If we can prove you were guilty of a political assassination, then you die. If you go out in the streets and riot, then you go to prison forever. But if you kill anybody in that riot, if you're a part of a riot that kills anyone, we cannot live in a country, we cannot live in a society where violence is normal. And it's not about there's not enough punishment for crime, right? I understand what Matt is saying and I respect him, but like the problem here is that he's not, like, I don't know if he is understanding that the desire and the drive, the push to give Tyler Robinson the death penalty isn't about crime. It's about living in a country where people know that if I do this, I am also giving up my life. And where people know, and be proportional to this, if you do things like, say, the streets should run red with their capitalist blood, kill those guys, that's what Hassan Piker said. If you do things like what Destiny does, where he says we should kill conservatives, if you do things like this, you go to prison forever. If you encourage someone to commit a murder and they murder someone and put the entire country at risk of civil war, you do not ever get to live your life again. You stay behind bars forever. If you kill a political enemy for the purpose of demoralizing the other side and trying to win some political victory, thus inciting possible civil war where millions of people die, right? This is attempted murder on millions of people. That's what this is. This is attempted murder on millions of Americans. You have to be killed by the state. The state has to kill you. We cannot live in a society where the punishment for potentially starting a civil war is anything less than death. It is untenable. That society falls apart within 2 years. And I'm getting angry, but I'm not angry at Matt. I'm angry at the idea, at these people who are doing this. Because they think that if I just get online and say this stuff, some kid will go say this and he'll go to prison forever, but one of my political enemies will die. I can launder a hit through my rhetoric to kill my political enemies. That's an unacceptable state for a country to be in. You don't have to live like that. You just cannot live in that society, and we cannot allow ourselves to pretend that anything less than the death penalty will discourage these people from doing this stuff, that anything less from life in prison for encouraging this stuff will stop them.
Tyler Robinson be executed or not? And what's available to the Catholic right now? Because I think when Ratzinger was the head of the CDF, he said that if one disagrees with the Holy Father about the death penalty, he can still present himself to Holy Communion. But if he disagrees with the Holy Father on, say, an intrinsic evil like abortion, which capital punishment isn't, that he cannot present himself to communion. Has that changed? I know there are different academics, Catholic academics like Ed Fazer and others that would say, no, there's now a mistake in the Catechism because of what Pope Francis has done, and that we shouldn't be beholden to it. But I mean, what's your opinion?
I made an oath of fidelity as a seminary professor and as a Catholic priest, and so what's written in the Catechism is binding on me as in a submission of faith. And so my inclination, if I can read the section that's there now, this is the
So they're going to quote 2267. I got another YouTube video queued up for that. I'm not trying to be smart, but like, I have another YouTube video queued up for that, right? 2267.
that I would embrace and uphold, as stated. There are others, including the current pontiff and future ones, who could debate some of the things that you're talking about, but I'm going to hold to what is the doctrine of the Church. The Catechism says, assuming that the guilty party's identity and responsibility have been fully determined, the traditional teaching of the Church does not exclude... I'm sorry, that's actually the former.
I know, I was about to say, there you go, just prove it. It doesn't negate that.
The current recourse to the death penalty on the part of legitimate authority following a fair trial was long considered an appropriate response to the gravity of certain crimes and an acceptable, albeit extreme, means of safeguarding the common good. Today, however, there is an increasing awareness that the dignity of the person is not lost even after the commission of very serious crimes. In addition, a new understanding has emerged of the significance of penal sanctions imposed by the state. Lastly, more effective systems of detention have been developed which ensure the due protection of citizens, but at the same time do not definitively deprive the guilty of the possibility of redemption. Consequently, the Church teaches, in the light of the gospel, that the death penalty is inadmissible because it is an attack on the inviolability and dignity of the person, and she works with determination for its abolition worldwide. So, that's it.
Okay. I got another video queued up. Let's queue this up first.
Well, let me ask you a hypothetical then. This is fun. Maybe not for you, but I get to ask the question. Suppose Pope Francis declares by the power of his office tomorrow that there is no such thing as papal infallibility, or he denies the Immaculate Conception. What do you do tomorrow when that happens, if it happened?
Well, so, I mean, what
does the Church do?
I'm inclined to think that if a pope carried out an act that had all the trappings of a formal ex cathedra pronouncement.
And he clarifies, right? Because people say, hang on, was this
right.
you
he
acting
says,
as
you bet I
Peter?
was,
And he says,
right?
yeah.
You bet I was, right?
Yeah,
You bet I was declaring solemnly and so on. And he teaches some heresy, right? Something that is, you'd have to be even more dishonest than people already are, right? To deny that this was a heresy. I mean, suppose he says, appealing to my full authority as successor of the apostles, I hereby declare and define that Jesus of Nazareth was not divine, or something like that, right? I'm inclined to say that would falsify Catholicism. I'm inclined to...
Okay, so they're talking about what would falsify Catholicism, right? And Dr. Fazer is saying that if the Pope were to try to overrule a eternally taught doctrine of the Church, Catholicism is false. Very obviously true.
Say that the teaching on papal infallibility, here's a case where it makes an empirical prediction that this will not happen. Therefore, if that happened, we would have a falsification of Catholic claims. For that reason, I would say it's never going to happen.
Yeah,
it will
like
not
the
happen.
bones of Jesus showing up.
Exactly right. Yeah. Some people I think are afraid to go there. I would say, well, why? First of all, I think it's an implication of the doctrine. If it's an implication of the doctrine, just embrace it. Okay. But second of all, Christianity bases itself on miracle claims, like the one you're alluding to, the claim that Christ was resurrected, and that has empirical repercussions.
Yeah.
One of them is that creation. Here's another way which is open to empirical falsification. Another way that I think it could be falsified. When I say could be, I don't mean this could happen I don't think it will ever happen. But in principle would be if a pope doesn't do that. But let's say he teaches some other doctrinal error in a less solemn way, and initially it's very controversial, stirs up division in the church, but gradually it settles in. Those who hold to the older opinion kind of die out, and 100, 200 years pass or what have you, and now it becomes settled Catholic teaching. But it conflicts with everything that was said before, and it conflicts with Scripture, even if it's not something that's been formally defined. I would say that would falsify Catholicism. So to give you an example, and this is when I'm known for this topic. Everybody thinks this is I'm capital punishment boy, right? Everybody thinks that's my...
Used to be Dawkins whipping boy. That was much more fun.
Yeah. And I would much rather not talk about this topic, but it always comes up, and few people are talking about it. So I'll use it as an example. I mean, in my opinion, if it were to become settled Catholic teaching, unambiguously taught that the death penalty is always and inherently of its very nature immoral, that it's tantamount to murder, that it's no different from abortion, that it's no different from just shooting an innocent guy when you're robbing a bank or something, and that became settled. There was no controversy about it anymore. 100 years from now. my book on capital punishment, it's disintegrated dust. Everybody's forgotten it and so on. And all the other controversy over it's gone, right? And everybody's just like, yeah, we all teach that, right? We all know that, and all disagreement is gone. I would say that would falsify Catholicism because that just conflicts with scriptural teaching. So if the church...
Okay, you guys see where I'm going? Yeah, everybody in the chat saying they saw where I'm going. Dr. Phaser is pointing out something, and he's going to say it, right? Like, if Catholicism used to teach that this is allowable and now teaches that it's inherently immoral, and if that's a doctrine, quote unquote, then the church is false. The church is wrong. Okay? Like the Catholicism is falsified. It just doesn't teach that. That's just not the case. It's just not true. So the death penalty is on the table. It is allowable. There are certain crimes for which it is appropriate.
Teaches that Scripture cannot teach moral and theological error. And it also teaches that the unanimous understanding of Scripture that was had by the fathers of the church, and that the church has always had, cannot be in error. And the church does teach those things. Then, well, I mean, we can conclude from that much that Scripture teaches that the death penalty can, in principle, be a licit punishment. It doesn't say you always must use it. It doesn't say you ever have to use it. But that in principle, it can be a legitimate punishment. So if the church ends up teaching clearly and unambiguously that no, capital punishment is inherently, of its very nature, evil, right? Okay, you've got a breach with the magisterium. You've got with Scripture, the fathers.
Yeah.
And this is fathers who themselves were not in favor of capital punishment. There were a number of who rejected it in practice, but nevertheless acknowledged that Scripture permits it.
So you don't even have to say that it's... You don't even have to say you want to use it, but you have to say it's allowable.
And every pope who's spoken on it up until Benedict XVI has allowed, even when they were personally hostile. And there have been a couple who've been personally hostile to it, but they allowed it could be permissible in principle, right? So if you have the later magisterium directly contradicting 2,000 years of papal teaching, 2,000 years of magisterial teaching more generally, Scripture itself, the claims of Catholicism have been falsified. Now, is that going to happen? No, it's not going to happen. But it could happen in the sense that we can imagine a scenario where Catholicism is open to falsification now.
Okay, so here we go. This is what phasers, right? This is the phaser. So you can't. The Catechism says you can't use it anymore, right? And Phaser is saying that if that is the case, then the Catechism is wrong. Master Yon in the chat says capital punishment is this. The Catechism doesn't say that capital punishment is inherently wrong, simply that we now have no reason to use it, so we cannot use it. I'm pretty sure that's not what it says. Let me check. Recourse to the death penalty on the part of legitimate authority following a fair trial was long considered an appropriate response to the gravity of certain crimes and an acceptable, albeit extreme, means of safeguarding the common good. Today, however, there is increasing awareness of the dignity of the human person is not lost even after the commission of very serious crimes. In addition, a new understanding has emerged of the significance of penal sanctions imposed by the state. Lastly, more effective systems of detention have been developed which ensure due protection of citizens, but at the same time do not deprive the guilty of the possibility of redemption. Consequently, the Church teaches that in light of the gospel, the death penalty is inadmissible because it is an attack on the inviolability and the dignity of the human person. She works with determination for its abolition worldwide. If something is an attack on the dignity and the inviolability of the human person, it is an inherent evil. There is no thing which can attack the dignity and inviolability of the human person and not be inherently evil. So the Catechism does say that it is an attack on the dignity and inviolability. That makes it an inherent evil. Also, this paragraph, like, not just like, is it like theologically like not a great, like not good to contradict old teaching, right? But it's also like factually incorrect. Lastly, more effective systems of detention have been developed which ensure protection of citizens, but at the same time do not definitively deprive the guilty of the possibility of redemption. That is not the case everywhere on the planet. There are, dozens of third world countries where an effective system of detention is not available, And I could come up with a thought experiment where it would not only be moral and illicit to use the death penalty, but it would be it questionably be a failure on the part of the state to not use it, right? Like I can say you have this serial killer, he says he's going to kill again, and you keep trying to put him in prison and he keeps getting out and killing more people, and he keeps telling you that he's going to get out and do it again. Eventually, if you keep putting him in your prison, which is not holding him, you are, as the state, failing to protect the innocent and therefore the common good. Like, that is like that like there are hundreds of like dozens of countries where it's just not the case that there is an effective system of detention available in every part of every country. Like it to make a global universal statement like this, like it's just like it's like I don't know how else to say this, but this is wrong, right? Like it's just wrong, you know? An increasing awareness of the dignity of the human person is not lost even after the commission of very serious crimes. So you either have to say, one, that the apostles and like the church prior to when this was changed in like 2018, you have to say prior to when this was changed 7 years ago in 2018, that the church had a doctrine which was based on an incomplete awareness of the dignity of the human person, right? The church didn't have a complete awareness. The Catholic Church lacked an awareness of the dignity of the human person. I'm not comfortable saying that. Does anybody feel comfortable saying that the church ever lacked a complete awareness of the dignity of the human person? I'm not comfortable saying that. A new understanding has emerged of the significance of penal sanctions imposed by the state. That's not... Yeah. Okay. Like, but that doesn't... Like that doesn't negate injustice, that it is not possible if you kill Charlie Kirk in front of hundreds of people, right? He endangered hundreds of people physically and endanger a country to fall into civil war. It doesn't mean it doesn't really follow that, like, because we understand the significance of penal sanctions, have a new understanding. Like, I understand the significance of killing Tyler Robinson, of the state putting him to death, right? But like that doesn't make it necessarily immoral. You know, and like, do not deprive the guilty of the possibility of redemption. The death penalty has never deprived the guilty of the possibility of redemption. This is another thing that is just factually wrong. Like, in Christendom, when you were being taken to the executioner, do you know who the last person you saw before the executioner was? Do you know who the last person that you saw before the executioner was? The last human being you interacted with before the executioner? The last human being you interacted with before the executioner was a priest. Phileas Frog got it right. It was a priest, and they offered you confession. Christendom was saying, we hope your last action is to do a thing which erases, as we've been saying all night, all enmity between us, and which restores our friendship. And if you confess, you don't get to go back inside and go to prison forever. You still walk up there. You still get the noose put on. You still walk up there, you still put your head on the block. You still walk up onto the pyre and you get lit on fire. But you were offered confession. So this does not do not definitively deprive the guilty of the possibility of redemption. The implication here is that the death penalty definitively deprives the guilty of the possibility of redemption, which is just historically inaccurate. It's not just that it's doctrinally like contradictory. It's that it's completely ahistorical. Like the arguments for why the death penalty is wrong now, like that's not an argument for it. You know, like if you confess to that priest and that priest gave you absolution and you were going to heaven, you were still going to heaven right then. In fact, it was kind of considered a mercy, right? You had done something so evil that you were probably going to hell for it, and they told you the exact day you were going to die. I would really love to know the exact day I was going to die, and be told that I would love to know the exact like date and time I was going to die, and be told that there would be a priest there 2 minutes beforehand. He could hear my confession, and when I died, I would go to heaven. I would love that. That action is merciful. It's not unmerciful to give someone the death penalty necessarily. It is not by necessity a lacking of mercy. It is, in Christendom, it was an extreme mercy. It was an extreme mercy to say, this thing you did is so terrible, you're going to go to hell. You're going to die a week from Friday at 5 p.m. At 4:55 p.m., you're going to see a Catholic priest, and he's going to give you absolution if you want it, and you will die and go to heaven. Probably purgatory, but you get the point. You will die and go to purgatory, but you will still end up eternally united with God. That's like, you know, that's the case, right? And so in this case, we're not depriving Tyler Robinson of the ability to go to heaven. I don't think Matt or Father Hicks said that. And we're not doing it to punish him for the crimes of others. We're doing it to punish him for a crime which is well beyond murder. Tyler Robinson committed what is likely the worst crime that has been committed in America in 80 years. Well, no, hold on. When was King killed? 70. King was killed in the 70s, right? In 68. King was killed in 68. Tyler Robinson committed what is likely the worst crime in America in 58 years. And I'm not saying like King is worse than Kirk. I don't want to get into that, right? I'm just saying like a political assassination of this magnitude of a civilian risks civil war. Not including Trump. I'm not going to keep putting caveats on it. The point is made. Tyler Robinson committed a crime magnitudes worse than murder. Magnitudes worse. Like dozens of orders of magnitude worse than a single murder. Not only did he possibly kill a bunch of innocent bystanders, did he actually kill an innocent man, but he has endangered the lives of millions and millions and millions of innocent people who are at risk now because he could start a civil war. And he's emboldened other people to do the same thing. Today, ABC got shot up. By who? By a leftist who was mad that Jimmy Kimmel got taken off the air for lying about what? About Tyler Robinson. They are going to do it again. The only thing that will stop these people is if it's not make an example of him, but if it's the policy of the United States of America that if you commit political violence, you die. That is the only thing that can achieve peace. And it is a mercy to give these people their exact death date. And you know who else it's a mercy to? People who will possibly be radicalized and convinced that this is a good idea, who will not commit sin, who will be less likely to commit these sins if they are scared, if the temporal punishment is scary enough, and they know the temporal punishment is scary enough, that there is death, that they will not do it. So, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. Matt, I'm sorry I got mad. I'm not mad at you. I was mad about people doing violence, and I want them all to be put in prison forever. I love you if you're seeing this. Bye. Boys, I hit another 45-minuter. Holy cow. All right, let me read some of the chats. I saw some chats coming in, but they were, you know. I'm not a fan of the answer. I'm a theologian with an oath, thus I can't disagree if true scholars are not allowed to disagree. Yeah, that's... I understand where he's coming from. I'm not gonna weigh in on that, because I don't think it's just scholar and academic. I think there's some personal interpretations and formation of his personal conscience on his oath to obedience, his vocational oath of obedience. So, well, I can understand where you're coming from. I'm not gonna really I'm not gonna like weigh in on that at all, just because I don't think it's like super appropriate to be weighing in on the formation of the conscience of a priest and how he lives out his oath of obedience. Jacob88, I've never thought about this before, how much of a blessing it would be to be told exactly when you're going to be died and then be told you're going to give a commission immediately before your death. Very base take. I think I took that from Taylor Marshall and Timothy Gordon, or I heard it first from them back in the day. But yeah, it is the death penalty is merciful. If I send you the letter from Jack Fresh, the last letter on the day his death, priest wrote, would you read it? I will read it off stream and decide if I want to read it on stream. Unnecessary riots, unnecessary copycats of sin. Yep. If this guy gets jumped in prison by another inmate, he still ends up dead, but without a chance for penance and no healing effect of the restitution, with no healing effect of the restitution for the public. That's also true. Yeah. Are you on Josiah's chat platforms? What chat platforms? Daniel's here. Hey, Daniel, what's up? What of the catechism must be believed? None of it, all of it. That's a question for someone with more theological and apologetic understanding than I do. I think, okay, this is not advice on how you ought to interact with the teachings of the church. This is my personal relation to non-infallible church documents that may help you, and if it does, then that's good. If it's not helpful, or if you do not understand it, I would encourage you to ignore it. I believe everything in the catechism, unless there is a facial contradiction which I am incapable of explaining, and if that is the case, I still believe it. I only will say that I think it is wrong when someone much, much smarter than me, who is an expert on the topic, has also said that they think it is incorrect. At that point, I think I feel comfortable disagreeing with it. Yeah. Um, what else is there? What else? Anything else? Literally, you did something horrible, so we're giving you a one-way ticket to heaven. Probably a one-way ticket to purgatory, but you're still getting to heaven. There's a layover, dude. It's a ticket to heaven with a layover. Um, oh, I'm on Discord, Adam. You should join the Discord. It's in the links. It's in the description. I'm just here to grill. Is that who I think that is? Is that the Italian? Is I'm just here to grill the Italian? I feel like that might be the Italian. Honestly, Catholics pushing you must hold the death penalty is inadmissible to be Catholic. Really hamper evangelism. Anyone who's read the Bible knows the death penalty just by divine revelation is just by divine revelation. Yeah. Pope Francis had potentially two errors in his entire ordinary magisterium. The death penalty and sodomy not being a crime doesn't mean that he isn't Pope or that Catholicism is false. I agree with that. But if they stick around, then it would falsify it. If the alternate opinion was no longer allowed and it was the false opinion was universally accepted, then it would falsify it. Okay, it's not. Okay. I don't know who I'm just here to grill is. Purgatory described as a ticket to heaven with a layer is the funniest way to think about purgatory. Thank you. That's why you come to my streams. You get the autist takes on theology and politics, mostly politics. If that became the universal ordinary magisterium in an era of the church, it would falsify the church, but that has not happened yet. True. More Catholics need to read Shakespeare's Henry VI, which is basically a treatise on the perfect little goody-goody pious theologian king can still destroy a nation. Don't know what that's about. Don't know what that's referring to, so. I got bad news, boys. So, I tried to read Technics and Civilization. I tried to prep it because I started reading the third one. I was like, the best way to decide if I'm going to be able to the best way to determine if I'm going to be able to do this off the top is to read one and see if I get it first try, and I didn't, and then I ran out of time because I had to read the Decision Against Carl Schmitt essay, and it was harder. So what the stream is right now is pretty obviously just Josiah practicing reading comprehension. What kind of glasses are you wearing? Just wondering. These are blue light filters. What is the brand? Viscone? Viscone? Hold on, let me see if I can find them. Let me pull up my Amazon. Vizio 1. Visone. Blue light blocking glasses. You have to find a variety of styles on Amazon, so you have to find the one. If you're looking for the exact ones I have, you'll have to find it. I'm trying to figure out. Holy cow. Boys, I got great news for you. I have great news for you. Everybody say thank you, Josiah. There is the entirety. I just found the entirety of Technics. I just found the entirety of Technics on Google Books. Mostly because layovers are pure pain. That was the bit. That was the whole bit. Thank you for that. But that was the bit, yeah. Um, can I download this though? Is there a way to download this? Is there? I wonder if do I have it? Hold on. I might have it. I got some stuff. All right, I'm not going to record this, but I do want. Should I show everybody this? No, I can't put bro on blast. You have the Colorado scan? This is not a scan. I think this is the actual ebook, which I'm so confused about because like you can't buy this anywhere, but it is just free on Google Books and I don't see a way to download it either. Like I'm looking at it, right? I'm not crazy. Oh, influence on capitalism. Dude, y'all are not ready for influence on capitalism. I mean, you're probably ready for it, but it goes hard. Um, Good night, Happy. Let me check one other thing. Dude, did LibGen get nuked? Did LibGen get nuked? Not that I would ever use LibGen. I do not use LibGen. This is definitely not the right. I'm not on LibGen, but that's definitely also not LibGen because it's saying log in. There's no way I should be logging in. Dude. Let me go to Yandex. I'm about to use Yandex. Dee 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 dee. Search objects. Can you discuss the development of doctrine? I have no idea of anything about development of doctrine. I do not understand any of it, to be honest with you. Why? Come on. I have to search an ISBN. Can I get the ISBN, please? I'm just going to make all of you buy the book. That's what I'm going to do. They don't have it. All right, they don't have it. I found the thing, but they don't have it. We're just going to have to use Google Books. Preview. All right, I'm going to use the restroom. I'm looking for an EPUB file of this. Legate. Looking for an EPUB file of this. Technics and Civ. I'm going to use the restroom. I'll be back. About to eat some leftover chips. You're welcome, Jacob88. Liberty City music vibes. I don't know what Liberty City music is. Your boy EB, I just want to give Thursday a hug. I mean, okay. It's a little odd, but we don't complain. We take hugs, boys. Liberty City Grand Theft Auto. I never played any Grand Theft Autos. So. Sig's pouches. Bro, I got an idea. Hold up. Bro, I have such a good idea right now. Hold on. I have such a good idea right now. Wait, I have a great idea. I have a great idea. I have an A plus idea. A truly goated idea. No. Okay. Yay. There we go. Okay. Goated idea. Check, check, 1, 2. It doesn't work. It's not working. 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 No. Yeah, I know there's no volume. I'm trying to fix it. I'm trying to fix it. I'm trying to fix it. I don't know what to do. Check. 1, 2. Check 1, 2. Yeah, it doesn't work. That sucks. It just doesn't work. It won't work. I don't know what to do about it. I wonder... Yeah, it doesn't work. It doesn't want to work. Doesn't want to work. Doesn't want to work. Sorry. Can't figure it out. Yeah, just, it won't, like the audio from my phone won't light up. I'm still on the microphone. It will not, it does not want to work. That sucks. Bluetooth gone goofy. It's not the Bluetooth. It should be sending it via the thing I'm using. It should be sending it. Like it's lighting up on this end, but it's not lighting up on that end. I don't know what's wrong. I just don't think it's working. So, yeah, it's just not working. We can look into it. We can look into it. This sounds similar. Well, I'm trying to use Video Ninja, so... Yeah, it doesn't work. Here's an idea. Check 1, 2. Check 1, 2. Nope, still not sending right. Still doesn't want to send. Okay, here's a thought. Okay, now you can hear me through that. That's okay. Yeah, that works. Right? That is working now. That is working. You can hear me. I can see you hearing me. Okay. Now the question is, if I go to the other side of the house and go sit on my balcony, does it have the range? Does it stay connected? Also, I can't see chat. So how do I see chat? That's another problem. Okay. If I do that, no, it freezes when I close it. Okay. I can't see chat. So that's a problem, right? I can't see chat. Okay. Let's see here. All right, you guys I'm gonna have to go over here and sit outside and talk for a minute, and then you guys are gonna have to let me know if you can hear me or not. You have to let me know if you can hear me or not, but I have no way to know. So I'm just gonna stand here and talk for a minute, and then we'll come back and chat is gonna say we can still hear you or it cut out. That's what the solution is. That's what the solution is. All right, could you still hear me? Tablet or other phone. You must have FCC credentials. Lol. I mean, if it still sounded good, then yeah, I'm good with that. But yeah, tablet is not a bad idea. Hold on. A tablet is not a terrible idea. Hold on. Okay, let me see if my iPad's working. That's dead. That is dead. The tablet is dead. Former producer of the biggest Catholic podcast, by the way. That doesn't mean I have all the equipment to do everything sitting around my house. My bad. Let me just have 10, let me just have 30 grand of equipment in my house in my personal possession. This is a really easy solution if I have all the technology for. If I had all the technology for this, I would have like it just would have worked immediately. Hi, Mr. Pants. Let's see. No. What's the solution here? That's just what I call Levi sometimes. That's my good boy. Do I have a solution that allows me to go outside and see chat? I really do not, honestly. I'm trying to think about it. Let me keep thinking. All right. I am going to take Levi outside. I will be right back. I'm going to take Levi outside. I'm going to think about how to get chat outside onto my porch. We might have a solution. We might have a solution. Depending on how much battery this has, this will work. Certainly you have an old phone connected to Wi-Fi. Yeah. Gave them away. Gave them to my friends. They asked for it and I gave it to them. Yeah, this is gonna work. This laptop is mostly completely dead. Just like it's a brick. Like I just turned it on, it was at 100%, and now it's at 95%. So that's fun, but this will work. Yep, this works.
This works. This works. You guys can still hear it.
the music over my words. I can just go pause the music. I'll be right back.
Anyway, good boy. Hello. How's everybody doing? Did this already just glitch out? Dude, I'm not kidding you. Computer's already low. Just okay, there we go. I think you can still hear me. Dude, you gotta be kidding me. This laptop is it's frozen. Okay, we're good. Okay, we are actually okay, it's fine. Portable 2007 audio. Audio is not great, but passable. Yeah, it's fine. Should be fine. I don't think this is Philip Motors. These are oh, this is RJ Reynolds. I dropped to 9 viewers. Funny. My loyal nine, dude. Stand back and stand by, Patriots. You guys want to see Levi? There he is. Hi, buddy. How are you? You have a doggy? All right. Why is it not turning around? Bro. This app. There we go. What the dog doing? Lucky. Texas is different. You can get filterless camels in soon, though. He's a good boy. Levi's just hanging out. He's happy to hang out with me. He likes hanging out. I should probably make Legate a mod. I only have one chat mod, huh? There we go. Uh, there we go. The Flavorless Camel package is sick. It's a soft pack, which is soft packs are nice. I do like the soft pack aesthetic. Come here. All right, whatever. We still have to read 2 chapters of Technics. What if we read 2 chapters of Technics next week and we start earlier? Hear me out, right? I didn't post the clips this week because I wanted to be ahead. But what if we start earlier next week? What if we start at like 6 or 7 next week? That way I don't have to be until like 1, and we just use the 2 chapters we already read. What if we running again? And we see if we can get Blatcher run for Friday? We'll start at 6 next week. Because HG Moss can't be for all of it because he's Britain. Robo voice, oh well. Oh shit. Alright, going inside. Anyway, so um make sure to not turn around and show the street. I want to show people where I live. Walk backwards into the house. I like this poster of Shane from his last special. I got my film photography shelf. The complete. I got a bunch of old National Geographics uh films. My slides. My really nice lenses up here. Yeah. I have a bunch of cool stuff in my house. I should actually film like a house tour because I have some cool stuff in my house that like you guys would think is cool. You guys have all seen my Canticle for Leibowitz movie poster. Somebody bought me this recently. The it's an old tobacco ad. It's really neat. This was painted by a lady who lives in town. She's really great. She's a very good painter, so I bought this to support her. Um, yeah. Ah,
Okay, we're back. And we're back. It's already too late. I identified your street by the bug sounds. That seems unlikely. Okay, so we are agreed that we're not doing Technics tonight because it's too late already. It's 11 o'clock, and I would be up till like 1 or 2, and nobody would be watching anyway. So it wouldn't be much of a book club. So we're agreed on that. We're going to play Balatro. And then call it a night for tonight, and we'll start at 6 next week. That's what we're going to do. Bro. I've had 3 Premiere projects operating in the background all night. That could be part of the reason why I've been having some issues, huh? All right, let's go. Let's get it. We're gonna get it tonight. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna get a good run tonight. It'd be really wild to start playing actual poker right now. That would be the crazy thing to do, is just start playing real poker. Mm, mm, two pair gains malt, so we'll do two pair. We'll try to get two pair here. Jackson sevens. Discard this. Should have kept the ace. We only need one of these queens. I just hit. Alright, whatever. Is this two pair or contains? Contains, so it does work with full house. Hey, you gained two people. Yeah, I do. That's a little. The little viewership thing in the top corner is nice. It's a thing that is available in Streamlabs now that I'm using Streamlabs instead of OBS, and it just works on its own. It just kind of works, and I thought it was a good little addition. Oh, they're gone. So. Oh crap, that was dumb. Whoops. I should have paid attention. Didn't read the boss blind. Reading the boss blind explains the boss blind. I don't think there's any more queens left. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get rid of that queen. I'm gonna keep the king. Ace is full of twos. There we go. Next round, we're just gonna skip. Just gonna go next on that. Nines. Just get rid of these. Go for aces. There we go. Alright, we can buy that after the next round. We want to get to 25 here. We want to get to $25 here so we can hit interest. Is this bridge? Yeah, this is bridge. This is what old ladies play when they're always like, I gotta go to my bridge game. This is what that is. This is what they're talking about. I play bridge every Tuesday night for 40 years. That's what the old ladies are talking about, dude. Let me put you on game. Oh, we might be screwed here, boys. Alright, we're good. No way those ladies play this fast. I play a lot of this game. I play a lot of this game. Okay, we get this and we get that. Voucher next round. Oh, gross. None of this is good. I guess we take the two pair one since we're already playing two pair a bunch. We get the voucher next round. We need econ. I need econ. Give me some econ. Play that. There we go. I do need some econ though. We'll get that. Take a planet pack. Hope for Uranus. Reroll once. No. keep the 5. We'll play the straight. Good straight. I haven't been recording. Alright, now we're recording. Here we go. We're gonna get a Bellatra run tonight. Here we go. Flush. Okay, that's a lot of chips. Should we just take that or should we take the risk? I think we take the risk. That's good. We can take that. I want a stunt man. I kind of think I'm going to take both of these. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Big W. Gonna take both of those. That was the call. Now we got econ. We can open packs. We don't want either of these, but we'll take that one and then we'll just sell it. And we'll go to the next round. What are we discarding? We're discarding 6s. Okay. Not gonna hit a single 6. That's not gonna hit our diamonds either. Big sad. We'll take that. We'll open this one. We'll do that. That's good. We'll open this. What are we trying to hit next round? We're hitting jacks next round. We'll take a 2-pair level. Come on. No jacks. No dice. Gonna need to find more chips because the ice cream melts. It's down to 80 chips now, so we need to find more. Another chips. Night, Tyler. Have a good night. Nothing. Alright, kings. Need kings. There it is. There's a king. That's good. Almost hit the straight flush. Gotta find more chips, though. Gotta find more chips real quick. Ooh, that's big. We'll take that. Take that. And that. Take that. Open this one. That's interesting. We could hack. Yeah, let's do that. Trying to hit 10s. Gotta hit 10s. Tens, there's a 10. Oh, it hit. We got the money. We got the money hit. Yay, we got the money hit on the lucky card. Yeah, that's good. It's interesting, but not what we want. Don't want either of those either. Take that. Buy that. That would be nice later. It's too early though. We'll take that. Queens. We're discarding queens. There's a queen. There we go. Buy that. Buy this one too. Nope. Jacks. We need jacks. There's a jack. We'll discard that jack. We will discard that jack. And play this hand. There we go. Sevens next round. Photo. Don't want any of that. I don't want any part of any of that. Business cards have a 1 in 2 chance to give $2 when scored, so it's $1 per play. Yeah, no, we don't. I don't think we want that. Nope. Sevens. There's a 7. There's another 7. Huge. Yeah, buddy. Okay. We are trying to draw. Not that. Just put the money there. Ooh. Okay. Um, 1 in 20 turns to 1 in 10 for $20. That's $2 per play. Yeah. You too, Adam. Have a great weekend. Play that. There it is. That's what we were looking for. That's why we took the dice. For that exact thing to happen. Yep, and it happened again. Let's go. That's huge. That's big brain. That's major. That's so smart. That's such a good play. That's a major win. It's a great play. And we want that. Yep. one of my most genius plays ever right there. Yeah. Yep. Yes! Yes, yes, yes. Huge. Look at that. Look at that. $109. Let's go. 139. It's just like a goated. Like, it was so smart. It was like one of the greatest plays I've ever made. Truly genius. My genius is staggering. Staggering genius. Yes. Yeah, let's go. We want to make this stars first. Actually, the first thing we want to do is we want to stars that. We'll death it later. More discards. Alright, let's roll. Okay. We're cooking. We're so cooking. This is huge. Yep. Buy that. Take a little gamble. It's worth. It's worth. Oh shoot, I rolled way too low. Oh well, should be okay. We're playing hearts now, not diamonds. So let's get rid of these. Hearts now. Okay, we're gonna discard that heart though for the tarot card. Not the tarot card we wanted, but that's okay. We can discard this. We can discard one more time. No, we cannot. Okay. Play hands. There we go. Okay, we'll play all these. Just to get rid of them, we need one more heart. Need to draw the heart. Okay, play it again. Need to draw the heart or we're dead. There's no way we die right here. Oh, thank goodness. Okay. There we go. And then we actually, before we do that, we want to do this just as a safety, an extra safety net, and we should be good here. Yep. Yes. Yep. Yeah, now we have a bunch of room in our score. Okay, now we're looking to make hearts. We want to make more hearts. There it is. That's major. We're going to take that. That's huge too. See if we can find hearts. Queen of Hearts with the gold seal is so good. Skip that. Okay. I think we're okay without. Alright, good. This is no face cards. We need to see what our score is with this because the next one has no face cards. 37 with no face cards. Alright, we're good. Think we're gonna be okay with no face cards? What is in here? Steel? Alright, well, we'll take that. Let's get Jupiter. That's good. That gives us a little more room. Alright, skip, go to the next round. Come on. Come on. Dude, okay. I think we're okay. play that. There it is. That's our hand. What's here? This is... Oh, wait, we can do... Oh, shoot. No, I should have done that with Jupiter. That would have been smarter. Okay, I think we're okay, though. We had 37,000, right? And I added the Jupiter? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Alright, that's the worst blind we can hit, because we already hit the heart. So... We already hit the heart, or... the head. We already got the head, so we can't get any more bosses that are like devastating. Yep. With face cards, we're absolutely cruising, so we're good, because we're not going to hit that blind again. Easy win. Do that. Do that. See if I can get another heart here so I can have the king. Yep. Put this here. This one. Oh no. None of that's good. We don't want to use any of that. That we want. Take that. Okay. Come on. Wow. Wow. Really? Nothing, huh? No hearts on the first two? Wild. Wild variance. Beautiful. +1 hand size. Always want to take +1 hand size. Take the planet cards. Sell those because we're not going to use them, so we want the money. We'll take this, and then we'll make the money back with the business card in the round, and we'll still be above interest. Gambling. I'm not gambling. Bellatra is a skill game. We'll just use Pluto because it's good to have levels in Pluto just in case. And we can reroll once. Nope. Good. There we go. That's a great hand, actually, because we're going to get the $3 there. And then we're going to get our planet card. And then, ooh, we definitely want death. We'll skip. Oh, that's really good. We want that. See if we can hit that gold king. Give me the gold king. Give me the gold king. Dude, come on, give me the gold king. Good grief. Okay. There it is. That's exactly what I wanted. Yes. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. I did not know that the framework it used was particularly cool, but that's good to know, Xtex. I'm glad you know that. Yeah, come on. Money. Call me Gordon Gecko out here. I really need a red seal. I really need a red seal. Okay, those I can safely discard. I can discard that. Okay, this. I could put that first. Okay. Pretty smart play. Pretty smart play. Gold King. Yeah. Gold King. Gold King. Jupiter. Nope. There's my Jupiter. I can get one more. Nope. Was not worth it. There we go. Strengthen that. Play that. Hit lots of money. Hit lots of money. Get a lot of money. Get a lot of money. I can roll one more time. And we miss it. That's okay. Cell star. Sun. Do this. There we go. There we go. Get a lot of money. Get a lot of money. We take money. Money. Gamble. It's a good gamble. W gamble. W gambling. W gambling. Deja vu. Yes. Yeah, buddy. More discards. Good. More discards is good. We're gonna roll one more time, and then I can take Jupiter. We can get rid of these. Discard this. Discard all that. We're gonna discard that. Discard that. That is literally the card we were looking for the discard. Didn't hit what we wanted, but that's okay on it. And now we can unlock flush 5, which should be really big. It's not going to be as big as our flush because we've been leveling it up, but we can unlock flush 5 and then start leveling it up. Dude, I don't like any of these. Wow, that is a terrible pull. Worst pull ever. Buy that. Find a better... Give me a better tarot card, please. Nope. No luck. No dice. I need death. I need death. That's what I need. Still not death. There it is. It's not death, but that's kind of what we're looking for. We want that blue seal in our hand. There it is. Eris. Start using Eris. Start getting Eris. Death. Yay! Not the death not the cards we wanted to use death with, but we will put death right up here. Now we have it. That's tempting. Death there. Discard. And discard. And discard. Give me the 10. And discard. Nope. Okay. That's okay. Had to try. That's good. We like that. Take this. Hermit for sure. Give us Eris. No Eris. Take Sun. Yes. Yeah. We start taking double skips. I probably should have started taking double skips earlier, but we can start taking them now. For sure, we can definitely take them now. What's in my Fool? Pluto. Gross. Sun. This goes, actually, order doesn't matter now, but we'll do that anyway. Yep. That's the right call. That's the right call. That's the correct call. We want to use Sock and Buskin for sure. Sock and Buskin over Chad for the build we got going. And that's major. Now we have Death. Trying to find Hung Man. Trying to find the Hung Man. Nothing. Wow. None of the kings, huh? Not a single one of the kings? Now we hit one. Alright, there's our Red Seal King. That's good. Okay, now we're hitting them. So we can do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we can just get rid of these guys, see if we can get more red seals. Keep discarding, try for more red seals. Okay. Yep. Here we go. $380 million. Add a consumable slot for sure. For sure. Death. Give me Eris. Eris. Dude, this stinks. Okay. I can take one more. Nope. Nope. Keep that just in case I don't hit the rest of them. Now I can get rid of it. Okay. Unfortunate. Tribe is no good. Oh shoot, I didn't mean to open that. It's just on autopilot. It's not even a card worth opening. Played face cards become gold cards. I really don't need to do that. I have enough of them already gold. Dude, come on. My shops are not good. I'm not getting good shops. Wow, that's terrible too. Come on. Alright, we'll take that. Hold on. Be smart about this. Be smart about this. Yeah, good thing I was smart. Take the death in, and then we can get a hangman and just cut those guys. Playing a flush sets money to 0. Lucky for us, we don't need to play a flush. We need to play flush 5. So we're good. Do not need justice. Okay, come on. Alright, we'll do that. Skip. Oh, shit. Oh, well. Dude, there is... Dude, alright, whatever. Just not gonna have a good run. Gonna have to... I'm probably gonna die. I think I'm dead here. Yeah, I think I'm dead. That's okay, we're gonna play it out. But I do think I'm dead here. Yep, we're dead. Yep, I'm dead. No more kings. I'm dead. Okay. Well, there we go, guys. It wasn't a very deep run, but it was a good run, so it was a little fun Flush 5 run, so everybody have a good night. Have a good day. Talk to you later. Alright, guys. I got the video finished, and so I think that's it for me. For the 7 of you still sticking around, thank you so much for hanging out. Have a good night, Zachary Holler. If anybody else is still hanging out, FX Hex is still hanging out, have a good night. I think Adam K and Tyler went to bed, but thank you all for watching. Thank you for supporting me. If you guys really, I say this often, but like, I would really love to do this more. It's your username, dude. Your username says Zachary Holler. I would really love to do this more. And get more into this and spend a lot of time on this and be able to like spend time doing prep. You know, I spent a lot of time on prep for the friend enemy distinction video. I spent a lot of time on prep for that. If what I'm saying, if what I'm doing, if I'm helping you, I'd like the, I know it sounds kind of stupid because you hear YouTubers say it a lot, but like, I'm not going to be able to get to a place where I can help a lot of people. And, you know, if you really think what I'm, and I'm not saying this out of pride, but like a lot of people seem to think that, a lot of my friends seem to think that I have helpful things to say. A lot of you guys seem to really appreciate what I'm saying. And I'm not going to be able to help more people if you guys don't, share it to them. So I'm not asking because I want to be super famous or because I want to make a ton of money off of talking about politics, although I would love to be able to make my living talking about politics. But I'm just asking because, I would like to be able to help people, and I think I could probably do good in the world if I trust my friends, and I do, and they say I can. So please help me with that. Just share the streams, share the videos with somebody. So that's all I got. God bless you all. Make sure to say your prayers. Say the Liturgy of the Hours if you haven't said the Liturgy of the Hours in a while. The Universal Prayer of the Church. That's a recommendation I would give you. And thank you so much for watching. And if you, just thank you for watching and supporting me doing this stuff.